Hey y'all, what's up, what's up, what's up? It is night 3 of the 45 night live campaign that I'm doing to bring you guys on this journey of not only my personal development, but my business launch that I am doing next Friday, April 23rd, so that you guys can just be able to see not only the woman that I'm continuing to become and grow into, but also just be able to understand how my business really is for you guys, is to help our community, our people, and help everybody take back that control in their life. So I appreciate everybody tapping in. Once again, this is night 3 of night 45 of me going 45 nights straight in order for you guys to see my growth. And I want you guys to be able to grow with me. I want you guys to be able to better understand the person that I am. So even if you may not understand my business or why I'm in it for the products or services that I offer, I want you to be able to trust me, the integrity that I bring to the table, because a lot of times most businesses aren't built for people. They're built for people's own pockets, their own personal selfish endeavors, or their own profits that they want to use the money for. But everything that I've learned is I gotta give, I gotta help, I gotta inspire, I gotta impact, and I'll get mine on the back end. And that's why we're here today. So I appreciate all of you guys who are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. So let's get into it. So today's topic is overworking. And simply, a lot of us can relate to this because many of us do so many different things in order to acquire money to be able to do the things that we really want to do. And many of us come from backgrounds where we wasn't born into an inheritance. We wasn't born into something where someone really gave us a head start, or we wasn't born into just wealth in general. Like, there's not nothing about generational wealth that was possibly passed down, especially from where I'm from, right? But we know where we're trying to get to. And I realized that I've literally been overworking myself since I was 16 years old when I had my first job. So my first job was through Youth Uprising. If you from Oakland, everybody know Youth Uprising had it on lock. All teens been able to work, especially like 1 or 2 months right before you go back to high school, and that's your money for your school clothes. So me working at Caltrans, right, and then me working as an office assistant, and then me doing that all the way until I get my full ride scholarship at Arizona State. But then at Arizona State, many people don't know that I also worked a job. I worked for the city of Tempe, literally from my summer year as a freshman all the way till I was a senior. And people really don't know that story of how I was working a real job in the off season, in the spring and the summer, while handling academics and books, as well as my personal life, right? And then even when I graduated college, many of us struggle with feeling like we did everything we were supposed to. We listened to our parents, or we followed what society said we should do, and we still end up with nothing. We end up with no job. We end up with no help. We end up with no support. We end up with no mentorship. Everybody's saying, go get a degree, but then when you get the degree, you need an experience, but you didn't get the experience because you were so busy getting the degree. So people kind of box you in, and they kind of force you to have to continue to trade your time for money, to trade your desires in and what you really want to do, just in order to do what you have to do, because now we're surviving. And so it's really hard when you're telling people to wake up every day fulfilled and have something to look towards, and all they're really doing is waking up to survive. You're literally waking up to go to a job, to pay bills, to then not have much left after you pay the bills, and whatever is left is what's invested into what you really want. Whether that's, for some people, weed, for some people the club, or for some people a business, or traveling, or whatever, there's not really much left. And so I really didn't realize that I didn't value sleep until my previous job, when I was working 2 jobs, working as I'm a physical education teacher, for those of you who don't know. That's one thing that I do. And I worked at FedEx. And so the reason why I struggled is because I thought that I can work a job this one shift, have a job on this second shift, make this money, and then after that, I'm going to have time to go enjoy the money. I was so exhausted, you guys, that I literally was falling asleep driving. Multiple times. I fell asleep driving to the point where I got in a car accident, and it was my fault. I have fell asleep driving literally at like 2, 3 in the morning after getting off at nighttime, and I am falling asleep at the light. I'm not even 10 minutes from home. I fall asleep at the light. I wake up 10 minutes later, glad that I didn't roll into the intersection, right? And then also, me now having to wake up early in order to teach my students, so then that's lack of sleep. And I realized that I was overworking myself for money, trying to increase my quality of life, right? Trying to want this lifestyle, want this house, want this car, want this freedom, want this time, but that's the end. You're not going to get that first. That's not going to come overnight. I'm not going to be able to microwave that. And so what I realized is I have to start saying, no, I'm not going to overwork myself. I'm actually going to include self-care in my journey to becoming wealthy and impactful in this world. So I have to give up some money in order for me to have time to rest my brain, to protect my body, to secure my future, basically. And I feel like a lot of us overwork ourselves because we're trying to attain this lifestyle because we see other people with this lifestyle. We see other people and we like, man, I should be in that position. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. I'm a good person. Why I'm not there? Right? So then we go through our life literally competing with people, which is not healthy. Because as we compete, some people also compare, right? And so when you see that people compare themselves to other people in this route, what happens? Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm going to say that again. Comparison is the thief of joy. Because even if you had the same money, the same house, the same car, have you ever realized that your experience is going to be different? Even if you was sitting in the same seat as somebody that you're aspiring to be like, or for some of y'all who y'all hating on. Keep it a buck with, right? Just keep it a buck. Some of y'all hate and envy, right? And so even when it's you in that position, it's a whole nother experience. And so I realized that I had to start working smarter and not harder. I was literally chasing the quality of things, not the quality of life. I wasn't improving my quality of life. I was quote unquote improving my quality of things. But these things did not bring me the fulfillment that I thought that they would. So me working 2 jobs, we always have an intention when we do things initially, but when we finally get in that position, that's when we really challenge. Not for you to do something, but when you're in that position, when it actually happens, for you to follow through with it. So I was working at FedEx in order to do what? Have extra money to do what? Invest, build a business, all this stuff. But when I got that money, I finally felt like I was able to live. I finally can afford some shoes. I finally could afford to go on a little trip. I finally could afford to possibly go eat out at a better restaurant. I probably was able to be in conversations with my friends, and I finally was able to do something because I could afford to do it. But I realized that, is that something that I really wanted, or was I overworking myself trying to live for society's view of what I should have been, right? So people telling me what I should be, who I should be, I'm trying to live up to that standard. I literally stopped overworking myself and I started appreciating myself. And I said, Elisha, what is your value? What is your worth? And when I started to say my value and my worth, I started to figure out a plan of how can I acquire that? What does that mean to me? Yeah, I got all of this money, but I also want to help people when I give it back. I don't want to just get it to blow it. I want to help make a difference in people's lives. I want to help people find their smile again. I want to help people realize that they have more control than they think. I want to help people understand that before you can acquire an experience, you have to be exposed to it first. Some of us are not exposed to enough for us to feel like we deserve that experience. Everything I want in life will be earned and experienced. And that's because of exposure. Okay? And so I want us to think, are you on this live today, or when I post it tomorrow and you're watching this IG, are you at where you're at right now in your life? Is it what you said you truly wanted, or are you living for other people or for society's view of who you should be? And the minute that I stopped living for other people, and other people is not the haters, right? The doubters, the people who on social media not wanting to win, no. We sometimes live for our family, for our parents, for our friends. We do things thinking, oh, if I do this, this gonna help me. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, bro, my friend, my sister, somebody that has helped been here for me at the lowest of my lows, the highest of my highs. Taylor Wallace has said something to me that was so powerful that it could never leave my brain. It's like a sticky note. She said, Elisha, you can't pour from an empty cup. I said, wow. I'm so busy trying to pour into other people, help other people, do things for other people, and I'm literally doing that from an empty cup. So also, I'm not really giving them as much as I can because I don't have much to give. And the minute that I stop overworking myself, not only in jobs, because this is bigger than that, this is also in relationships. The minute that I started to set boundaries, I lost people who I thought was going to be on this ride with me forever. The minute I start putting myself first for once in so long, people in my life started dropping off. And it's the people who your family or your friends who you want to be there with you. And sometimes if it took for me to set a boundary for you to get booted out of my life, that means that God, or whoever you believe in, that means that God is saying they don't deserve to be there no more. You feel me? They was a season, they wasn't a lifetime. They was a reason they taught you something, they wasn't a lifetime. And we get so stuck to our comfort zone. People are our comfort zone. Jobs is our safety net. Certain things that we've had our entire life, it's our comfort zone. It doesn't mean that it's healthy. It doesn't mean that it's what's best. It's just what we're comfortable with. So how many of you, including myself, us, are overworking ourselves, making life way harder because we're going harder for people and things, and those things and people are not going hard for us? Just being honest. And so we have to start realizing, if people really love us the way that they say they do, I'm challenging you to show me unconditional love. At this point, we finna break it down. Yeah, you love me, but is it unconditional or is it conditional? When it's convenient for you, when it's beneficial for you. Can you love me when I don't have as much time for you anymore? Can you love me when I'm not just available for whatever? Can you love me when I gotta get me right first before I look back for you? Because if I'm only helping you and I'm trying to move forward, but you being stagnant, to me, either you getting worse or you getting better. Because if you stand stagnant, life continues to go on without you. And so I really need people to start to understand we cannot continue to overwork ourselves in jobs, overwork ourselves in relationships, overwork ourselves even against our own wants and desires, because many of us ask for things that we're not ready for as well. Many of us ask for things that we are not ready for. So we say, I'm overworking because I want this house and this house and this house and this and this and this. The more time that you overwork either your body or your mental or emotional self, the less time you actually have to go to build, to spend with the people that you. It's literally the day of June 10th, 2020, when I walked away from basketball for good. So I had already stopped coaching. But then I was still training because I needed the money. Money was helping me, but I was helping people. When I walked away from basketball for good, do you guys know that I stopped trying to fill that space and I allowed myself to finally be still for the first time in my life in 26 years? I had never been still. On June 10th, 2020, I stopped overworking myself. I stopped trying to be impressive when I talked to people. So when they said, Elisha, what do you do? And me rambling off 5 things, that felt good to me because I thought I was doing something. But to them, they like, girl, aren't you tired? That's a lie. Could be me. You're working way too hard. And so when I got into that, not only the mindset, schedule and that routine of not putting things in my life just to fill space, but sometimes it wasn't filled with substance. And so as you guys are building with me every single week and every single night, because remember, this is day 3 or night 3 of 45 nights on life campaign, as I'm allowing you guys to learn more about the Elisha days that I've grown into this, that I've did, what I've experienced, what's caused me to this point, so that when I launch my business next week on Friday, April 23rd, you guys can be able to look at me and not see me as the person who is inexperienced, the person who's uneducated in that field, the person who is not trustworthy, because you're getting to learn me and I'm committing to y'all. I'm giving y'all game, I'm giving y'all free value, I'm giving y'all, some people would pay for it, but that's not my intention. My intention is, how can I give value so that you guys can understand that you can trust me. And when you trust me, my business is not separate from me. My business is a part of me. Okay? And so this is what we're here for. So this. Stop overworking yourself in your jobs. Stop overworking yourself in your relationships. And stop overworking yourself to the point where you don't have self-care, you don't have sleep. And you start to realize what's my value, what's my worth, and you work towards that. Towards having a better quality of life instead of a quality of things. You work towards being able to spend more quality time with your family or what you desire, what you truly want, versus doing X, Y, Z to get all this money to have less time or a little limited time to do what you really want to do. At the end of the day, I need y'all to walk away with this and we're going to end it here. Comparison is a thief of joy. So please stop comparing your life to other people. Even if you're in their position, you won't have their experience. So how about you go and create your own experience? I appreciate all y'all who jumping on. I'm finna end right now. So if you got here late, if you got here towards the end, I will be reposting this tomorrow. You can watch it full. If you missed my first live, I'm seeking feedback from everybody. So I will be DMing everybody to the best of my ability who has been watching, and I won't get feedback if I did good, what I talked about, but how can I get better? How can I improve? What are some topics you want me to talk about? What are some things about me that you want to learn about? Or how can I be better in what I present? How can I be more efficient? How can I get more to the point? How can I give you what you need? Because I learned how to be a leader. I have to listen and help other people what they need first. So I appreciate y'all for joining. I appreciate y'all for staying on. And we got a lot of good things coming in. So it's your girl, Lili Davis. And I'm focused on getting value for the next 45 nights. Please join me every single night at 8 p.m. California time PST. Yeah, I'm out. Have a good night. Thank y'all for coming on. I appreciate y'all.